Welcome back to another episode of Blue Collar Customs Texas. I am Nick. We're going to be continuing on the 41 Ford Tudor today. Here's some floor patches that I made as well as Blake did. This is just some stuff that we were trying to mimic the floor, make it look stock as possible using the tools that we had. So we used a combination of the brake and the shrinker and the stretcher, and just slowly went about it, got it tweaked in just right, and we're gonna weld it in, keep knocking out the rust repair, all that fun stuff. Now comes the fun part of cutting out all the floors to put in our new patches, and so as you can see, it's a lot that needs to be replaced, but as with tradition, it's from something from 1941, so go figure. Yeah, so floors are getting welded into the inner rockers. That's a big step in the right direction. So you might be wondering, what is this guy doing? Well, I'm using Bondo and some tape to make a buck, so now what we're going to do is hand make a template, and it'll all kind of make sense here. And unfortunately, I don't have any footage of actually making the buck, but we pretty much just carved out a piece of wood, and we would take the Bondo out, sand it smooth, and you had like the nice little valley, if you will, shaped out. So that's how we were able to hammer form the floor pattern to give it like that bead roll look. But since we don't have a big enough die on our bead roller, that's what was going on there. And Blake's going to use the air hammer, press down the metal. Everything's all pinch tight with the buck. Give it that nice shape. We'll come back with different mallets, kind of like what Blake's doing now. And we'll just not really beat it into submission, but we'll try to just form it to the shape of the wood that we have down below.
See that trench? Well, ideally, we got minimal warpage with maximum shapage.
Maximum
effort.
Refrigerator art.
Hey, I'll say that's pretty decent for the first hammer form we've ever done.
What?
Little hammer and dolly refining, man. I think we're on it.
All right, so now you get a little before and after shot. You can see our buck underneath, and then there's the finished product. And yeah, we're just gonna cut it to where we need it to fit and make sure it's all lined up. Measurements check out with the other side of the floor, and up and away we go. Now we're doing a little bit of a patchwork on the doors. So here's the aftermarket GM steering column that our good friend Tommy wanted in his car. So in order to make that happen, we had to have him sit in the car, figure out where the steering column needed to sit, not just location-wise, but in a telescoping manner. Like, does the column need to be in more? Does it need to be out more? And then went from there to hooking up to the steering gearbox that we reused that was original. And all the linkages hooked up, and as you can see, it turns to the left when it turns left, turns to the right when it turns right. Mission accomplished. And just to wrap up the fuel lines and the brake lines, Blake here made some custom little mounting brackets for his fuel line system. There's the trunk latch to finish up the trunk. And doing some patches using the shrinker stretcher combination and a little bit of English wheel action and get that baby tacked on there. Now it's on to the pedals. So first we're going to start with the mock-up, see where we need to sit, and then we're going to make a template of the back side of the mounting bracket and transfer it onto some sheet metal. So after transferring the template onto the sheet metal, I just used a little hole saw to cut out the perfect little circles. And as you can see, all my master cylinders are lining up beautifully and they're sitting. You don't see any daylight through the sides, so heck yeah, we got some good tight fitment, but not too much, just perfect. And this is the moment that we realized we needed to adjust the bracket on the firewall so our pedals wouldn't rub up on the steering column and the master cylinders didn't look goofy with the angle that they were at. But after that was done, it was welded up flush, ground down, sanded. There's the gas pedal mount that Blake fabricated up. Everything's looking great. Tommy loves it. His feet perfectly touch the pedals. They go where they need to. And as with any car building, you're going to take that body off at least a million different times. I don't know why, but in order to try to make it do it right, that's what you got to do. So this will allow us to ground down some welds under the car, get a pretty cool little shot of how all the floor patches turned out, and there's the frame. So we'll roll everything outside and rearrange the shop. Our customer Tommy wanted a floor speed shifter and he's always loved Hurst, so we got him a Hurst 3-speed shifter. Unfortunately, we had to modify the 41 Ford Tudor's frame there because it would not fit. Something to keep in mind while you're doing this is just make sure that the linkage on your Hurst shifter isn't rubbing, and you're gonna have to cut out some steel to modify this frame, kind of like Blake did, and kind of make new holes, if that makes sense. So back to the bracing, I used the existing mounting holes that were on the bracket and started to make my own little bracket for mounting it to the steering column and also to the brake master cylinder combo there that we've got. And that'll keep it nice and tight, keep it nice and rigid. That way you're not pushing the pedals through the floor. I also restored the existing gauges that our customer Tommy had, and I used, sanded it down, used some special paint that we had. He loved gold, and it kind of had a little gold tint to start off with. So quick little scuff and respray, and then made sure all the gauges weren't rusty or anything like that because they're old 6-volt gauges. So we needed some voltage reducers, and we had to lay down some new wire. Make it all look pretty. Got a removable plug for easy access. That's it for today, folks. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe, and also check out our friend's page, Scratch. It's Scratch's Garage on YouTube. Give him a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.